Well, good morning. So this morning we're looking at the Enneagram number 6, the Loyalist or Questioner. And one of the key things I tell clients in the office is that my job is to help you become more aware, more conscious, because once you become conscious of something, you take a look and step back and see if what you're doing is counterproductive, then you can make different choices. And I know there's lots of ways to become more conscious, but one is the Enneagram. Become more aware, and that's what I'm going through the 9 different types hope to discover what motivates us, the motivations. So today we're looking at a 6, and I'm a 6, and the 6 are motivated by the need for security, and so the fear for a 6, and I'll say later that the 6 tends to operate out of fear, the fear is being without support or guidance. So phobic 6s, and we use the term phobic and counter-phobic, and they can be in the same person, but a phobic 6, which is less helpful, tends to be outwardly fearful and seeks support, where a counter-phobic 6 confronts their fear. And like I said, both of these can be in the same person. And for sure, I'm a pleaser. All right, that's the phobic 6. It wants to please everybody. But because I'm more aware, I realize I can't help everybody who comes into my office. I'd like to, but it's not realistic. And at the same time, I know that I tend to approach most challenges with quite a bit of fear, whether it's doing a workshop or teaching or even playing sports. You know. And fear does seem to be the 6s have the most fear of any Enneagram types. But the positive move, the counter-phobic move, is to do it anyway, which I think I've done most of my life. Right? I talked to my wife about this one, but before I would have to do a workshop or something, there'd be a lot of anxiety and fear, but I would tend to do it and then push through, and that was good. And in hindsight, those of you who know me know how I emphasize the idea of safety in a relationship. And obviously safety is important. If you don't feel safe, you'll defend yourself. But I still, probably, some of that comes from my 6 energy, which makes it even more of a priority. So you get a sense of how these energies are real. And if you become more aware, then you can maybe play with it a little bit differently. In her book, The Enneagram for Relationships, Ashen Whitmore Ober says this about the Loyalist. The word loyal is defined as giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. Reliable, responsible, always prepared. Those are just a few traits that describe Enneagram 6s and who they are. It always goes back to being loyal to a person, cause, or the environment. And they tend to have either a strong or resistant relationship with authority figures. And I could fit into there for sure. Meaning there's no in between. Loyalists do the thing they do based on what makes them feel safe and secure. And then a little later on, she goes on, counter-phobic 6s confront their fears because that's what makes them feel safe or secure, instead of retreating and being bound by anxiety. All right? And anyway, the wings for 6s are obviously 5 and 7. 6s with a more developed 5 wing tend to be more introverted, intellectual, cautious, and standoffish. 6s with a more developed 7 wing tend to be more extroverted, materialistic, active, and impulsive. Now, those of you who know my wife, Crystal, I'm married to a 7, and for sure one of the positives for me is that she pushes me out of my comfort zone and towards new experiences, whereas the 6, I would tend to hold back, but she pushes me forward. And that's a whole nother area of study, combinations of different Enneagram types in intimate relationships. The movement for 6 is to 9 and 3. The positive move to 9 helps 6s to take life less seriously, to put more trust in their own inner authority. And the positive move to 3 helps them take decisive and effective action and to feel good about what they accomplish. And in the Enneagram Made Easy, the authors give practical suggestions and exercises for a 6, one of which is to remember it's okay to make mistakes. And again, for years I've had a sign or a saying by Alfred Adler posted on my office wall, and as I tell my clients, it's more for me than for them. Have the courage to be imperfect. We're just humans, all right? We will make mistakes, but we can learn from that. So again, this is just a quick overview. Lots of information on the Enneagram out there. As I said, one place is my wife, Crystal's website, Journey to Inner Wisdom, and I know she's going to be doing a workshop, online workshop on the Enneagram in June. Any of those that might be interested in getting more information. Okay, so next week we'll look at the sevens, and my wife is a 7, and you'll get a sense of what that's like. For me, it's been great. Cheers.